TGIF. It's time to kickstart your weekend. I'm Michelle Johnson.
And I'm George Gall.
And we're celebrating
the upcoming release of the new Cloven Hoof album, Time Assassin.
Time Assassin.
Out March 11th.
March 11th, I can't wait. Well, we're enjoying our happy hour here at Sushi Z Thai. We're in Louisville. George has got some octopus sushi. And that's all you, George. I've got some spring rolls. And what's in your glass,
Spring rolls,
guys?
that's weak, man. That's for the lily livered spring rolls. Here's the way the real people do it.
You know, I probably would have gotten some eel. If I like smoked eel or something that's like cooked. I don't particularly care for raw fish.
Oh, I love raw mollusk.
I'm a surf and turf kind of girl. Raw mollusk.
Octopus. That's
You
good
eat
stuff.
snails? Little escargot?
I have before in France. You know, when in France, right? Do as the French.
Go right on. Well, party on, George.
All right on.
It's really good to see you. It's been a long time.
Me too. It's been a minute. Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us just a little bit what's going on with you. I know you have a lot going on with the new release of the Cloven Hoof album, the 2022 release, Time Assassin. And also, we're looking for ASKA to come out with a new album this year.
ASKA's got a new one as well. It's
Night Strike.
Night Strike, absolutely. Look at this. The girl did her homework. We've got a new album called Night Strike coming out. It'll be out later in the year. We didn't want to put everything out at once, so we're kind of staggering the releases. The Cloven Hoof album's coming first here. It'll be out, March 11th. And it's my third with the band. Our latest and greatest set of songs that...
I think it's the greatest.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You like that better than Morning Star, Age of Steel?
You know, I'm a huge fan. And you introduced me to Cloven Hoof, so, George and I are
Doing
good
my
friends. I'm just a huge fan. So I'm going to say, I was really looking for something new and something to, that didn't sound the same, something that, upped the ante a little bit, and this is great. I love it. All the songs are really great, and I really enjoyed listening to it.
Cool.
Now, you have some other stuff that you've been working on. You have a new project that you've been playing live, doing some tribute to the 70s.
Yeah. I was, it's for all practical purposes, a glorified cover band. But, because the word tribute sells these days, and it'll get you a gig where, it won't with other things. We just call it a tribute to the 70s, and we do all 70s music.
And what's the name of this?
It's called the Fabulous Freak Brothers.
Fabulous Freak Brothers.
It's comprised of, got a couple of, DFW heavy hitters with myself and Brian Wakeland of Tripping Daisy on the drums. We also have Don LaPena, known for his work with local original band Junkyard Mars. And Scott Clute, who I used to play with in Omen 11 or so years ago, 12 years ago. So that's that. But that's, it's cover band. It's for fun, something to do, while the pandemic holds everybody back and stops all the original bands from getting out there and doing what we do,
Well, I got to see you guys at the Poor Shack when it was your very first gig.
Wow. That was a fun night. It was an interesting night.
But I saw you do some tunes like you did Led Zeppelin. What was that song?
We were doing Immigrant Song at the time,
song.
and now we've added to Led Zeppelin. We do "Fool in the Rain" as well.
I love that.
It's a great song. I really love it as well. But it's all basically that band. If it was recorded in the 1970s, then it's fair game for us to do. And it runs the gamut. We do from Elvis Presley to...
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
Really? What do you do?
Burning Love.
Burning Love.
Hunka, hunka, burn love. But
That's great.
that kind of thing. And, you know, Zeppelin, Sabbath, Thin Lizzy, AC/DC, Free. The other night we were in San Angelo last weekend. I'm like, all right, we're going to do some Free. You guys know some Free out there? A lot of blank stares.
Probably had a younger crowd coming to see you, right?
Yeah.
Because most of the people that were partying pretty hard in the 70s probably are a little burned out or tired now.
Yeah, to say the least. You know, they've seen their better day. But you know, but that's the cover band stuff and everything. My emphasis has always been my original bands, ASKA. Night Strike will be our 7th album. You know, Cloven Hoof. This Time Assassin will be my 3rd album with the band. And if they don't behave themselves, it will be my last. Banshee.
I love Banshee. For a while, that Banshee CD was stuck in my CD player.
Which one? The Madness or Mind Slave?
Mind Slave.
Well, then you're in for some really good news because we have managed to reunite the full lineup that recorded the Mind Slave album. That means Terry Dunn on the guitar, Chuck Hopkins, original Banshee bass player, on the bass, and Marty Shireman on the drums. You know, who was the drummer on Mind Slave, and of course myself on the vocals. So we've reassembled the team. It looks like we're going to be recording the album in Omaha, Nebraska, where we did the Mind Slave record.
Wow.
Yeah, so it should be, you know, when we did the Madness, which was the follow-up to Mind Slave, we changed things a bit. We were with Visionary Noise, and it was Terry and I, but with a different bass player and a different drummer. And I enjoyed that album tremendously. I think it was great. It had some really good songs on there. People that have heard it love it. But we all agree that there was the magic of Mind Slave that we had on Mind Slave was not there. It was great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Madness. I think it was a really good record. But for a lot of people, they were like, "Oh man, you know, Mind Slave." They want another Mind Slave. And so we reassembled the team to give them that.
That's great. Why Nebraska? Why are you recording in Nebraska?
Well, Nebraska is where we recorded Mind Slave in Omaha, and that's where Marty and Chuck live. So we've got half the band there, so it seems natural, and it only makes sense to go back there to where
where the cornfields are.
Yeah, and where 2 of the 4 guys reside. I mean, it doesn't make so much sense to come here or to go to Michigan where Terry Dunn lives. It makes far more sense to go to Nebraska where half the guys are. And Chuck, he's got a big, 3-level house there that, we all kind of crash and we use it as the base of operations. In fact, I believe that Terry is there now, presently working on, the new songs, Of course, that we're not ready. That's still in the writing stages. We've got tremendous music coming up. Terry's been sending me the demos and this stuff. We've been working and talking about melody lines and subject matter, direction for the new album, and so we're really excited about it. More immediately, though, we've got the Cloven Hoof, Time Assassin. That's just a week and a half away. And
week and a half away.
Yeah, the first review actually hit today, and it was a solid 10 out of 10 straight across. The reviewer, the critic seemed to love it, and that seems to be the case with the music we're doing. Now, keep in mind, Cloven Hoof has never done the same album twice. It's always different, From the first album to the last one we put out, Age of Steel, every record is a progression or a new direction or exploration into that full avenue that is heavy metal with its many, pathways and back alleys and, one ways and, Las Vegas and, all that stuff. But this is another record. It doesn't sound like Age of Steel in a lot of ways. And then in other ways, it sounds very much like a natural progression.
Well, it sounds like Cloven Hoof.
It sounds like Cloven Hoof with George Cawley.
But y'all just sort of kind of just, you just pushed the envelope a little bit.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to check out my review on Jam Magazine. Yeah, that'll be coming
I want to
out.
check that out.
And our editor should be getting that out like today or tomorrow. So
Jam Magazine, always
Jam Magazine.
a Texas staple, one of the longest running music magazines in the DFW area. Houston.
43, 44 years old.
Yeah. So ably run and operated now under the hands of editor Michael and Suaste.
Hi, Michael. Great job.
Great, phenomenal job. And you've got quite an assay here with Michelle Johnson.
Thanks.
We've been friends with Michelle for years. In fact, a little known thing that people might not know is that years ago, when ASKA had lost our rehearsal place, Michelle had put up her rehearsal where she rehearsed with her band and, opened it up for us to rehearse there. Sadly, the neighbors weren't too keen on the idea. And they were like, every time we show up, they're cops.
Yeah, they called the cops, but the cops came in, they want to give us trouble, but George has all this charisma, and if I remember correctly, they were basically like asking for autographs by the time they went out of there.
We try to schmooze them, treat them nice, they're people too, I certainly don't hate the cops unless they're being a-holes.
Yeah.
I'm pro-cop, I don't want to defund them in any way.
No.
I want them to get out there and do their job and keep the communities that they are, hired to protect safe. That's a beautiful thing.
But what people might not know is that George sort of picked up my band as put us under your wing, I guess, and let us open up
Like
for
this.
his band, and got us started meeting people and getting into different venues, and then later on, the Michelle Johnson band got to open up for Cloven Hoof when y'all came in 2019 through DFW.
That was very fun.
Anyway, it's been a pleasure, George, and we're looking forward to plenty of stage time from you.
Absolutely,
and ASKA. So you guys look for the fabulous Freak Brothers in our town, here, surrounding areas. Are you guys going out of town or anything with these guys?
I go out of town with all the bands that I'm in. I've been touring for years, since 1992. I started touring. Initially, we started doing tours for the U.S. government. We were doing contract work, playing military installations and bases all around the world. It was under those circumstances that we first went to Japan, Australia, Korea, Singapore, all over Eastern Europe, North Africa, Israel, Egypt. You name it, been there, done that, all over the Caribbean. That's how we started. And I think it kept ASKA solid for so many years, because where all the other metal bands at that time, this was 92, they had all kind of just fallen by the wayside or jumped on the alternative grunge bandwagon.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if anybody remembers, this was a very hard time for this genre of music, for heavy metal music. People were not putting together, metal bands. If they were just doing alternative. People, all the periodicals, the newspapers, the magazines were saying, heavy metal's dead. I mean, that was the quote. But, so we were aware of fake news long before the term was invented. We were well aware that the media lies, will sell you their narrative and push it on you. And even then, I was fighting back against that. I was nightly at audiences around the world and at our shows here at home saying, you know what? These newspapers, these periodicals, they tell us that heavy metal is dead. But you guys here tonight, you know that it's not.
Never died.
It never died. And no matter what they tried to say and what they tried to tell us, It couldn't have been further from the truth. Heavy metal's not dead.
It never died. It might have gone on page 2 instead of the front page.
It went underground, and
Yeah.
it still kind of is. But so what? We didn't make this music to be popular. I never. Let me tell you something. Okay, I'm gonna get on my soapbox here, but I never got into metal to kiss anybody's ass or to do what anybody else expected of me. If I wanted to do what was expected of me, I would have been respectful. I would have got a job. I would have went to work, 9 to 5, and play the good boy and play the role and yes sir, no sir, whatever. I got in this music because I want to do what I wanted to do, how I want to do it, when I wanted to do it, and that doesn't change. Okay, you know how religion often has people that want you to bow down, kiss the ring, kiss my ring, do what I tell you. You need to play this. Oh, you didn't play nice, you're canceled, you're out, you're finished, you can't cancel me, I cancel you. I cancel you, motherfucker. I cancel you. Because I don't play that game. I didn't get into this music to kiss anybody's ring or to follow anybody's edicts of what they think I should be doing. I'm here to play music. If you want music, I'll give you music. If you want a show, I'll give you a show. If you want to control me and tell me how I should think, breathe, feel, act, whatever, fuck you. It's not going to happen with me. Okay, you'll find plenty that will play your game, but not me. I will not. I refuse to play the game. I am metal through and through, and metal people don't play your game. We play our game. True metal people play the game we want to play, not the one you want to play. You're not a priest. Yeah, it's just how it is. It doesn't mean that they're wrong or that everybody has an opinion. They're entitled to it, and they're entitled to do whatever it is to promulgate, to push their agendas, whatever. But don't think that that's ever going to control me. Because I'm not. That's just not me. It's not my way. And it never has been, and it's never stopped me from doing anything. We've had promoters around the world. Oh, I don't like George Call. He's too outspoken. I don't like this guy. I don't like what he said. Oh well. I guess I won't play your show.
How many times have you been in Facebook jail?
Oh man, God, I had my profile unpersoned. My profile was removed. But you know what? When I came back, when I made a new one, I was like, I kind of kept it calm. But I go, you know what? If I'm calm, then they win. They're not gonna. I have the freedom of speech, the right to be who I want to be, say what I want to say, when I want to say it, without having to genuflect or give in to anybody else's opinion, or thought process. And I retain that right. And if it means I'm going to be jailed, canceled, unpersoned, whatever, so be it. So be it. Because at the end of the day, I'm happy. I'm doing what I want. I still do what I want. And that will just always be the way for me. I'm not about, kissing the ring for anybody. I play music. I'm not building a rocket ship. I'm not a politician. I'm not here to please anybody but my fans and myself. And if somebody wants to impose their power, however limited on me, oh, you can't play a show if you don't do this, then I don't play your show. It's that easy. Life doesn't stop. And who do those promoters castigate? Their fans. They castigate the fans of the music, because it shouldn't matter. I mean, what does it matter what somebody thinks in their private life, how an actor feels, how a musician feels, how a human being feels about whatever? That's their right. We are all individual people with our own right to feel what we want to feel and to think what we want to think, without somebody trying to impose their thought on us.
Right.
That's dictatorial. That's tyrannical. That's Putin.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. Well, without getting overly political, I don't. Whatever, people like who they like. They like what politicians they like. They vote for the politicians they vote for. But me personally, I don't want to be told by anybody how I should act, say, think, do, whatever. I follow the law. I've never been to jail, never been arrested. I've never hurt anybody physically, we've all had the fights, but I've never, been arrested for anything. I've never, so what's the matter what I think? It's my opinion. Respect my opinion like I respect yours, and we all get along. And respect my right to say what I want to say, just like I respect your right to say what you want to say. We're all good. And not to get on the soapbox, you can edit out whatever you want. But, I just want to make it clear where I stand with things. I will never kiss the ring to play a show. I won't kiss a ring to be in a band. I won't bow down to do anything that doesn't comport with the heavy metal credo. Just stand up for yourself. Be proud of what you do what you do well, and that's it. You don't owe anybody else anything, and that's how I've always lived my life, and that's how I'll continue to live it. And
well, I think that anybody that has you in their band, George, are lucky to have you, and you always do have a lot of good things to say and write about. And
hey, I'm always cool, always friendly. I always treat others the way they treat me. But that's the thing, it's very reciprocal. That's one of the reasons I like some of the politicians on the stage in the last 4 years. I'm all about reciprocation. I will treat you the way you treat me. And if you treat me like shit, you're gonna get treated like shit. If you disrespect me, I'm gonna disrespect you. If you treat me like I'm your friend, or you treat me with respect and decency and all that, you're gonna get the same back. I give what I get. I think that's how smart people live. People with attitudes and agendas and all that stuff, there's no time for that. Not for me anyway.
I've got your back, George.
Thank you, Michelle. Octopus.
So, remember to check out Cloven Hoof's new album, Time Assassin, and looking for ASKA's Night Strike coming out, and the review on Jam Magazine. And we're gonna go ahead and kick off our weekend, finish our food and our drinks, and have a good time.
Hey, let me tell you, the songs on the new Hoof that I love. I'm gonna tell people, when you get that album, put on Lords of Death right out
That's
front.
my favorite.
I love Lords of Death. I also love Tokyo Nights, which I'm gonna dedicate to my bro Chuck Hopkins, Banshee. Great song. The whole album. Listen, you're gonna like it. Good stuff.
And we're gonna do another interview with George, and we're just going to talk about the Cloven Hoof album. So, yeah. So don't give him too much.
Okay. But once again, Lee Payne has outdone himself. He's written a killer album. The man, he doesn't write a bad song. Delivers year after year, 4 years. I was a fan in high school. I'm a fan to this day. And I'm very happy to play in the band, And this new album, I think, once again, just confirms that we have hit a formula that works.
Yeah.
And only a fool would interfere with such.
Okay, so tell them, George. Tell them to kickstart their weekend.
Kickstart your weekend right here. Jam Magazine, Michelle Johnson. I'm George Call, and thank you for watching.
Party on Rockstars.
Share far and wide. We'll see you later.